What's going on, guys? Your boy Amazing. We're back with another video, and in today's video, guys, me doing the YURI ZAHARD showcase on Nidhoggr. Now, guys, I actually was able to beat Nidhoggr with YURI ZAHARD. It's very crazy, you know. I know, guys. I know, you know. No one thought it was possible, but the human team has actually beaten Nidhoggr. For the team we actually used in this video, guys, this was the setup. So we actually ran Ultimate Escanor, Roxy, YURI ZAHARD, and then also LR Elizabeth. Now, for the setup here, guys, we are running LR Elizabeth triple defense with the lowest HP Tarmiel link so that she gets targeted over the other characters on the team. And yeah, I mean, it's not even a UR gear set, guys. It's kind of off gear set. And then yeah, for Yuri, I'm running HP defense, no UR gear, right? So there's that. Roxy's on attack crit damage, and then Escanor is on attack crit damage as well, guys. And yeah, I mean, it's doable. It's crazy to think that it's doable with this team, but yeah, I mean, we've gotten to the point where, you know, characters are becoming super strong. We have, you know, a really good support with Yuri and the stance removal, right? So yeah, I mean, it's definitely a thing that can be done, guys. I want to preface though, before we actually hop into the showcase, that, you know, it's gonna be really hard for you guys to be able to do this on your own. This took me about an hour to clear, I would say, on my main. And I don't know if my free-to-play account could beat this. I'm not gonna lie. I don't have Roxy on my free-to-play, so I don't think I could do it. But if you have this team and you actually have the characters built, then definitely give it a try. I mean, it is kind of difficult, but you can make it work. And yeah, I mean, I'll be showing you guys how I did it in this video. So hope you guys do enjoy. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe as always, and definitely do appreciate all the support, guys. You know, me suffering through all the demonic beasts with these special characters like this, and we got YURI ZAHARD cooking. So yeah, for everything else though, we are running the basic stat card set for the 10% basic stats. You know, for 5 gauge or more, we are immune to freeze, which actually does not matter on this fight, but it's mainly the 10% basic stats that we're looking for. And then yeah, we're running Sario link on Roxy, Mile link on Escanor, Lost Vein link on Yuri just for stats. And yeah, I mean, that's literally it, guys, for the setup. Yeah, let me actually pull up the video here and I'll show you guys exactly what we were able to do, and we'll kind of talk about the phases and, you know, what was kind of an issue for me when going through the fight. We'll kind of talk about it, so let's hop in. Alrighty, guys, so here is the video clip of me actually clearing Nidhoggr. Now, as you guys can see, the video clip is fully 57 minutes long, but it's not actually fully 57 minutes. It's like, I think the first, like, you know, maybe the first 20 minutes is my first 2 floors, and then the last like 10 is the last floor. So nothing too crazy, but yeah, guys, we hop in here, exact same setup, nothing's changing. This was actually for my weekly Nidhoggr clear anyway, so I was like, might as well go for it. And yeah, guys, that's pretty much the gear setup that we were rocking right there. Let's hop in and actually showcase the team now. So yeah, so the idea with the team is we have Yuri with the stance removal. She is giving the basic stats and the damage dealt lower. So I think with this team, we actually have a good amount of tanking. Roxy is there for the big damage on her single target and the fact that we get the initial, the extra damage past the damage cap, which I think is going to be very clutch on this fight. And Escanor, I mean, obviously, you know, Ultimate Escanor is a very good universal character. And you guys might be wondering, like, why am I not running LR Escanor? And the main reason for that is because I'm running LR Liz. So it would actually mess up his passive a little bit, and I thought also Ultimate Escanor could be pretty nice with his damage, you know, with the double, you know, damage after the damage cap, as I mentioned. It is just very nice, right? So I was thinking, like, okay, it could be good. And yeah, that was kind of the setup, guys. So right there, Elizabeth is getting attacked, so that is why we have her on the lowest HP Tarmiel link. And you always run Elizabeth on the Tarmiel link if you're not running Tarmiel on field. And obviously, because it's a full human team here, LR Elizabeth has to be run with the Tarmiel link, because no one else can really be run, you know, the Tarmiel link and survive like that. I think she is the best one to survive, and also she'll have the least amount of stats anyway, because Yuri's giving 15% basic stats to the rest of them. So yeah, I mean, the rest of them have like good stats in general, so they shouldn't have too many issues. But yeah, guys, right there, we actually do the single target with Roxy, and boom, we're already into the next phase. So I always forget how strong Roxy is, man. Just a very, very strong character in terms of damage, and you know, she's just able to deal a ton of damage on a team like this where, you know, we're not even running full humans as well. You know, like, bear in mind that Roxy would do a little bit more damage if we had more humans on the team. And obviously, you know, we could only get 1 extra human, but there's no other really good human that we could run anyway to fit that slot. And right now, LR Liz is the, you know, the best character, I'd say, for PvE at this point in the game. Other than, like, the Demon King fight, I mean, she clears literally everything else, guys, so Yeah, definitely a really good setup right there. But yeah, I mean, the main idea was for me doing this Demonic Beast with Yuri was like, okay, I think she'll be pretty nice because she has the cancel stance. I think the damage dealt lower on the enemies will be really good, and the basic stat increase might be enough to make Roxy and Escanor like competent DPSs on Nidhoggr. And I was thinking like, okay, maybe I'll give it an attempt and see how it goes. And actually, it was not that bad, guys, as you guys can kind of already see. Yeah, right here we did take a little bit of damage right there, and I was like, okay, you know, we had the stance removal initially with Yuri as well, but now we're just kind of, you know, clearing out our hand. I was trying to save my ultimates as well, just so we could like get through that final phase like pretty much in like one turn, you know, give or take. And yeah, that was kind of the idea. But look at the damage Roxy's dealing, man. I'm just so glad that a team like this is even possible, because that just goes to show how strong humans actually are. I mean, humans are actually a strong team, guys. It's just they needed support. And it's crazy to me that, you know, one support character like Yuri drops, and look how strong the humans already are. And we don't have a character like Chaos Arthur. We don't have like a festival, other than I guess like Ultimate Escanor, but you know, like a festival that could actually help this team. And yeah, no, it's just crazy to me that the team works so well. So yeah, I mean, the only thing I will say that this team had issues with was definitely kind of clearing on the final floor. I think floor 1 and floor 2 weren't as bad. Floor 3, but you know, there started to be some glaring issues with the team, just in terms of like, you know, damage sometimes, especially on that final phase of floor 3. But we'll talk about it when we get to it. But yeah, I mean, that was like the only issue I think I had throughout the entire run I did. I think everything else I was doing pretty good, and I didn't have too many issues going through the rest. So yeah, right there we dropped the Ultimate Escanor ult. And yeah, I mean, 6-6 Ultimate Escanor, I really understood as well how strong that can be. When I was running him on this fight, I think 6-6 Ultimate Escanor was almost doing like, I think it was like 2 million damage on that final phase. Like, that's crazy. So if I'm able to do that, like, you know, then obviously we know this character is just broken still. And yeah, I mean, it goes to show, man, Ultimate Escanor hasn't really fallen off too much, guys, in terms of general content clearing. He is very, very good. And yeah, as you guys can see on Nidhoggr, I mean, he's cooking too. And yeah, Roxy obviously just doing a ton of damage. We do the Ultimate Escanor single target just to, you know, shred the gauge completely. And then we follow up with the Yuri ultimate to get the Yuri win screen. Look at that. Yes, sir, we were able to get it. So yeah, boom, right there, 280k. And yeah, guys, I mean, that's Yuri right there beating the first floor of Nidhoggr Demonic Beast battle. Now let's hop into floor 2 right there. So let's skip over this me up into floor 2. So yeah, I mean, you guys see it, right? Hopping into floor 2. I think the issues on floor 2 weren't really that bad. I don't think I had too many on floor 2. You'd be surprised, right? I mean, you'd think this team might have a little bit of issues on that second phase, maybe with the infect. But Elizabeth is just super clutch, having the, you know, the cleanse card, the damage dealt, and then and yeah, I mean, the attack related, I mean, it's just super nice. So yeah, like the healing and all that. Elizabeth's just a really, really good character to run on a team like this. It's just, if only like humans had a good healing character. If humans had a character just like LR Elizabeth, like that level of power, it doesn't have to be the exact same skills or exact same kit, but like if it was that level of power, guys, I'm telling you, this team would be broken out of its mind. I think all content in the game at that point would just be like a wash. And like even like the Demon King, like if you guys have seen like, you know, just clips of like Bomb or like just, you know, Kizuna in there, like that's a really, really strong team too, because on Demon King you're just doing so much damage. And so yeah, I mean, on the Nidhoggr fight right here, like because we don't have full humans, we're not getting the full benefit of Yuri's passive, but it's still a really good amount. You know, 15% basic stats, that's pretty much as we're getting in PvP, because you know, most of the time we're in a 3v3 setting. So yeah, I mean, this is kind of what you're like expecting in terms of the stats that we're gonna have. And this is with Ultimate Escanor too, not even LR Escanor, right? I mean, LR Escanor would be probably a better character for a team like this if I wasn't running LR Elizabeth, but since we are running her, you know, Ultimate Escanor is going to be a little bit of a better strat, I would say. But yeah, right there, guys. Honestly, this whole phase right here is just kind of stalling, right? We're really just stalling just to get that full heal on Liz. The one thing that you have to make sure you're going to do with this team is that you always want to heal up and be full HP going into every single phase, because you know, the moment your Roxy or your Escanor are less HP than your Elizabeth, the boss is gonna attack that character. And right there, I barely lived too, which is crazy. I lived on a sliver right there, guys. But I mean, you know, depending on the RNG right there, I feel like I might not have like taken that much amount of damage anyway. We probably would have been okay regardless. But yeah, I mean, that's, you know, that's what comes in Nidhoggr. Sometimes you're gonna get runs like that where you do get some issues. But yeah, I mean, we still were able to, you know, kind of clear through this with relative ease. I mean, other than that, like, you know, that one turn right there where Roxy was about to be killed, we haven't had any close calls since, guys. It wasn't anything like as bad like that. So yeah, no, hopping into this floor 2, phase 2, this is where, remember, whenever we stance remove, we get infected. So that's a, you know, a situation that could arise. But guys, watch what I do right here. This was crazy to me. When I saw I was able to do this, I was like, okay, human team actually could be a viable team. Because you guys will see here, we do the Roxy single target, we follow up with the Escanor single targets, and remember that Escanor has the double additional damage hits, right? He has from his own passive and he has from Roxy. So he's now doing double those hits, and boom, we just instantly one phase that phase, guys. Like, that's just insane, right? Like, Nidhoggr floor 2 and the human team one phases it is crazy. So yeah, now moving into floor 3 or phase 3 here of floor 2. This is where we kind of have to like deal a ton of damage while also keeping the team alive. And so most of the strategy here was kind of just making sure that we had Elizabeth ultimate always. And because we have another Elizabeth attack card as well, I was like, okay, next turn we could definitely use it to heal up, and we can kind of just use it to stall this turn. And having a Yuri ultimate too, I don't know if this is dependent on the dupe level as well, guys, but the Rose Shinsu debuffs, like when you ult with her, I think I'm at 3 to 6, so I applied 3. But depending on what dupe you guys are on for your Yuri, you know, it could be more, it could be less. But the 3 is still like really good. Like the instant 3 that I can get for the damage reduction, I think is super clutch. You know, so we're able to just instantly apply the 3, and now he's doing a lot less damage. He's getting 30% damage dealt lower, right? So that's definitely really good right there. Now we're getting attacked onto Elizabeth right here, and I was like, okay, that's good. You know, we always have to make sure it's Elizabeth getting targeted. If it's anybody else, it can become an issue, and you know, that's something you'll probably have to, like, you know, think about when going through the run. But other than that, I mean, you know, not too many issues here, guys. So we do the ultimate right there with Liz. We follow up attack card, so we get the ultimate again. Remember, Liz is able to ult cycle every time she does her ultimate, and in a follow-up card on that turn, she will just get her ultimate back, which is super clutch. So if I'm able to just always ult and then do a follow-up Liz card, then I'm always going to cycle my ultimate like that. So yeah, right here, he is going to go for the AoE. And then, yeah, I mean, he's going to start doing focusing single targets, and that's only going to hit onto Liz with the Tarmiel Link. We're pretty much completely fine. And then it looks like next turn he actually is going to ult. And yeah, I mean, the with an ultimate, he obviously is going to hit very hard. And I was thinking, like, okay, we drop the ult with Liz, we do the defense related, and then I'll get my ultimate back anyway, and the following turn he's going to die, because he's at 33%. Remember that he loses 33% of the gauge every single time his HP is less than 50. So every time we're lowering his HP less than 50, we're getting that 33% shred. And right here, since I already know that we're like at that range, me just using Elizabeth's buff card anyway and just, like, you know, getting the ultimate ready for that the next turn is completely fine, and we're able to, you know, breeze through this phase fairly easily, guys. I mean, this was a pretty good run considering all the, you know, all the things that actually did happen. So yeah, all right there, explosion on everybody. And then yeah, he's gonna go for the AoE. That's D rank right there, but we had no rank 2s. And then because yeah, I mean, we're pretty much free to do damage here, I ult with Liz first, because that's going to give us the heal. Yeah, so I reset. We ult with Liz first, and then we do the Roxy, Ultimate Escanor, and single target. And guys, I mean, that's going to be a kill, right? I mean, we're getting the attack related, we full heal. Pretty much with that much damage, like, there's really no one that can kind of tank that, right? And yeah, double ultimate from that right there is just a big amount of damage, and look at that. We're already done floor 2. Now, I want to show you guys one little segment here of floor 3. So we beat floor 2 and we're on floor 3. I want to show you guys this. This wasn't the run I beat, but I want to show you guys what this team's capable of doing the damage on the turn 1 of floor 3. So floor 3, and on phase 1 specifically, if you can one turn the fight, like if you can one turn this phase, you don't have to deal with all the bad things that happen, right? And so this team actually could do it if you're a big enough of a whale. I personally can't do it. And you guys will see here that I try to go for the max amount of damage. So I do the Yuri single target just to get a crit for the Roxy additional damage, right? So we get 1 or 2 crits right there. Boom. So we do the a little bit extra damage pass. Escanor single target, Roxy single target, Roxy AoE, and look how close we get to actually one-turning this guy. Which, if we could have done that, that honestly would have been like super good, because then I wouldn't have to stall. But yeah, right there I realized I didn't do it. I still let the run go, and we do the run, but I lose. But yeah, we got to go to the very end, guys, so we can get the run where I actually beat it. So we got to scroll back here a little bit and find the beginning of this run right here. No way this run was 15 minutes long, though. Let me see. Okay, it might be, actually. It might be, guys. But yeah, no, right here. Let me just make sure that I didn't lose. Yeah, I think this is the run right here. Yup, yeah. Okay, so right here, let's go to the beginning of the clip. So let's start in. So we're on floor 3, and yeah, this this floor, I mean, took a long time. I think this floor of all the floors took the longest to get recorded. And as you guys can see from the full video clip, I mean, it was an hour long, guys. I did a lot of recording time for this fight. So yeah, I mean, it did take a minute to beat it, but I knew it was possible. I knew it definitely was. It's just I had to get the correct RNG to make it work. And a lot of the time I was kind of getting just screwed over by not having like stance removals with Yuri, or, you know, maybe just not having enough damage cards with my characters on that final phase. And yeah, I mean, when we get to it, we'll kind of talk about like the damage and stuff. But that was one of the main things I think that I had an issue with, is that Ultimate Escanor and Roxy, by that point in the fight, were not really hitting like that. I mean, their ultimates were obviously hitting very hard, but their regular cards were doing maybe like 30% of his HP at max with like a single target, right? And we kind of expect more from those single targets, especially Roxy and Escanor, you know, because they're dealing like a ton of damage after the initial hit. So yeah, that's definitely something to think about. But yeah, right here, I do the single target with Yuri just to let that merge. We do the single target with Elizabeth, or AoE, I mean, with Liz right there, just to push up ultimate. I merge Roxy, and I'm like, okay, do I want to waste Escanor card here? Because I might not top deck. But I was like, okay, we might as well just waste the Roxy card right there. And there's no reason to not, like, you know, just waste cards like that. I think it's just fine just to, you know, get the cards out of our hand, as long as we have one of each character card. Because remember, guys, that going out of this phase, we have to triple ult. We have to triple ult and then heal up the team while doing that. So that's kind of a hard task to do, especially with this team not having like an abyss or anything. Because if we had like an abyss ult, right, we could do we could do an ultimate, and that would do the extra damage after the 3 ultimates themselves, right? So it would be like 33, 33, 33, 0, and then the abyss would kill, and I could just like heal with Liz, right? I could do that if we had abyss, but we don't actually have that you know, abyss effect on anybody, unfortunately. So we weren't able to do that tech. Like Freya is able to do that a ton, and it's very good, right? But yeah, no, with this team I had to do a ultimate, and then follow up attack. That was the only way we were gonna do it, right? So that was something that I thought we could do. Yeah, right here, guys, we actually do the ultimate with Liz. We follow up with the buff card right there just to get the gauge fill. And then AoE with Escanor right here is going to do a good chunk of damage. Look at how much that does with attack related up. I mean, 30-50k is damage count, guys. Like, this Escanor starts to hit super hard. Considering he is building up his all stats as well. Remember that Ultimate Escanor does build up all stats every single turn, but he does lose it on the, I think it's the 6th turn, I think he loses it, because it's 5 turns long. So yeah, I mean, once you get to that 6th turn, he's going to kind of feel a little weak. And that's kind of why, I mean, a lot of this was a little bit of a struggle with Ultimate Escanor, because past that point, he starts to take a little bit more damage, and he starts to deal a lot less, right? So that's definitely something to think about. But other than that, though, not too many issues. We do the AoE right there with Roxy, follow up single target, and then the Escanor single target right there, guys. I'm trying to prep my like characters to get like triple ultimate here, so we could just ult, and then follow up attack. And that would be like ideally the situation we want to do. And yeah, I mean, most of this part right here I think is just stalling. I don't know if I go for the ultimates this turn. I'm gonna skip a little bit ahead just to see. Yeah, no, so I go for another heal ult right there, right? And then the following turn is when I want to go for the kill, pretty much. That was the idea. So I do the ultimate with Liz, we follow up with the buff card. That's gonna full heal me, get me the ultimate back again with Liz, because we have to make sure that we have another ultimate with her just to keep us like sustained. You know, the healing is gonna be one of the main issues with this team, because if we don't have a ton of healing like that, we're gonna definitely struggle. So yeah, right here, yeah, so he goes for the AoE, he drops the ultimate as well. And yeah, I mean, not too much damage. I mean, considering the attack up that he has, we have the 30% damage dealt lower on him though. Like we're pretty tanking. Like, I mean, we're tanking fairly well. So that's not that bad. Right here was definitely like my thought, like, do I go for the triple ult? But I was like, okay, I'll go for it. You know, we are kind of low on HP, and the one thing that I did make a mistake with this part of the fight, guys, is that I was lowest HP with Roxy. And that is an issue because that means the boss will target Roxy on the second phase, and that's unfortunately what happened, you know, because I got that situation. So right there, we did the triple ultimate, follow up with the attack. You know, the heal was not enough for Roxy to get above the amount of HP that Liz was. I think Roxy was at like, I think it was like 340k, if I'm not mistaken. We'll see, because I do click on her just to check. Yeah, 342k, yup. And then Ella Elizabeth right there had 360 maximum, right? So she already has higher HP, you know, with the maximum that was already filled. So that definitely sucks. That means Roxy's going to get targeted. But it only affected the run for, I think, like 2 turns. I think after the 2 turns, I was okay. So yeah, right here, again, guys, this is the phase where it's a lot of, you know, cancel stance. You gotta kind of, you know, attack with every single character as well, so you don't get darkness stacks. There's a lot going on this second phase of floor 3, and it is definitely hard to go about it. But right here, I do the ultimate with Liz. I do the single target with Yuri right there just to remove the stance. And then remove that damage dealt. And then, yeah, I mean, we do the single target with Roxy. Look at the damage Roxy's doing, guys. Very, very good. What is that? 20% of his HP instantly like that is super strong. And then Escanor already does another 20 as well. Like, that's really, really good. So, yeah, man, I mean, the human team is definitely strong damage-wise on these, like, damage cap phases. Because they can hit past the initial hit of damage, they just do so much more damage. And it's a lot, like, it's very noticeable, actually, when you are attacking like that. Yeah, right there, Roxy does take a ton of damage. Again, as I mentioned, she is the lowest HP, so she will be targeted. And then right here, I'm like, okay, we go for the AoE with Yuri. You know, we'll get, oh no, well, I guess we already had max damage reduction stack, so it didn't matter. But I do the heal card with Liz right there. We do the AoE with Yuri, and then single target Roxy. And now next turn is where I think he puts up the stance. Yeah, so we needed stance removal. Luckily, we have 2 cards right there, guys, which is very, very clutch. You know, Yuri having the stance removal on the single target is very clutch. I think the AoE could have been another effect, though. You know, that was like my one gripe I think with Yuri is like her cards are not the greatest. I think the cancel stance single target is fine, but if you're gonna give her like an AoE that's just like what, buff strip, and then rank 3 it's cancel stance buff strip, like it's not that good, right? So obviously having like an AoE with maybe like gauge reduction or something, that could have been super clutch on a team like this, because you know, imagine me being able to remove the gauge of the boss on a rank 2. Like maybe Yuri could have had that Lilia AoE gauge reduction, right? If you guys know what I'm talking about, the blue Lilia. Imagine I had that. I could take the ultimate of the boss right now if that was the situation, right? But unfortunately, we're not able to do that, and you know, that is definitely a little bit annoying. But yeah, right here, I was like, okay, we do the single target with Yuri, and then we'll all with Yuri, and then all with Liz, so I can start building up another all with Yuri, right? That was kind of the idea. I was gonna all initially with her after, which would have been, I would have not gained gauge right there, which is, you know, a misplay. We have to make sure we gain gauge, right? So I dropped the ultimate with Yuri right there, refreshes the Rose Shinsu debuffs, and then we're going to do the heal ultimate right there, and then the buff card as well, guys. And boom, so now we're going to, yeah, we're going to get the ultimate again with Elizabeth. We have Roxy and ultimate Escanor's ult as well. And so now we're in a situation where I kind of had to tank this as well. Yeah, now I had to, one thing that I noticed as well, guys, is that because the boss is ulting and double attacking, that is scary, right? Because remember, this is extort, so he's taking your stats and dealing a ton of damage. So that's why I had to do the buff card with Liz after, so that I was tanking these hits, because you know, those hits are going to be very, very strong. And you know, Ella or Liz is not getting buffed by anyone else on the team. She's not a human, so she doesn't tank like the other characters do. But again, I mean, Ella or Liz is just that good of a character that she's able to tank, you know, brute force tank all these single target extort damage deals. So yeah, I mean, pretty good, pretty good. I'm very, you know, very pleased with my Elizabeth right there. So yeah, right here, I'm like, okay, this is where the buff cancel actually did clutch up though, because remember that this is buff cleanse or buff removal with Yuri. So because we do that, we actually remove the extort and we can actually just start attacking. And then I noticed that he was putting up the stance next turn, so I was like, okay, we have to kill by next turn, right? So next turn we're going to be killing and we're going to move into the final phase, and that's when we're going to go for the win on the Nidhoggr boss right there. So yeah, right there, buff strip, which is really nice actually. That was the one time it actually came in clutch. I mean, other than that, I never actually used it, right? We were using Elizabeth's buff strip instead for most of the time we needed that. But yeah, I mean, that was a situation we took advantage of it, right? I mean, so we'll definitely take it. But yeah, right here, we do get a darkness stack on Liz, but I was like, okay, we're not going to take a ton of damage anyway. You know, we damage dealt lowered the boss. We also, he also does not have damage dealt up or like extort on us, so he's not going to deal a ton of damage. And so right here, I'm like, okay, 6% left on his gauge. If we do triple ultimate here, guys, I think we're good, right? I think I was like, okay, every ultimate's going to do probably like 2%. So if it does 2% each, it'll be 0. And then we can follow up Yuri and then just finish it off, right? So that was the kind of the idea. Boom, so we do the ultimate with Roxy. We do the ultimate with Escanor. Follow-up ultimate with Liz, and look at that, guys, it hits 0, and that is where we actually can finish off this second phase and move into the final phase right there. Very, very good stuff, man. I mean, look at Yuri cooking. You know, she's actually doing really, really nice in the team. I'm very, very shocked, man. So yeah, now moving into this final phase, guys, this again was where I really had the most issues. Look how much time was left on the video. So 8 minutes. 8 minutes left over, guys, so we'll kind of like breeze through this. But yeah, I mean, a lot of things were happening here, right? So we ulted with Yuri. And remember that this phase, there's no damage cap, so we can deal infinite damage technically, you know, if you have enough of that. If you can actually deal infinite damage, you would be able to do it. But yeah, he's immortality though, right? So yeah, always will live on 1 HP no matter what, but you can deal as much damage as you need. So right here, I was like, okay, Escanor's going to do a good chunk. And we actually do put him less than 30, which is really good. So that means we shred 25% of the gauge on that turn 1. And we got our full damage dealt lowers on Nidhoggr instantly. So that's really, really clutch. Like, just getting the ultimate off with Yuri like that, I think is really, really good. And then, yeah, getting the damage that we did with ultimate Escanor just now was really nice as well. So yeah, now the issue with this turn right here though is look at my hand right now, guys. Like, we don't have damaging cards, right? It's like we only have Escanor single target, and that's literally it. So right here, I'm like, okay, how do I want to go about this turn? Because remember, I always have to deal 10% of the boss's HP as well. So I always have to be clicking like one of those Escanor or Roxy cards. Because look at Liz's damage, 71k, that's not enough, you know? That's not even close. We need to be dealing a ton of damage. So Escanor is going to do 600k on one single target, which is good. But, you know, it's not going to really cut it on Nidhoggr, where we need to be getting the boss to pretty much less than 30% every single turn. So that's like the issue that I had going up like through this final phase, is I just wasn't top decking Roxy and Escanor single targets. I think that was the main issue right there. Obviously their ultimates are going to do a ton of damage. That I wasn't worried about that. I knew both Roxy and Escanor's ultimates would do a lot. It was just getting their actual cards itself that was the issue, I thought, you know, when going throughout the fight. So yeah, right here, we drop ultimate Escanor's ult. And yeah, 6 out of 6, by the way, and we don't do like a crit. I mean, I was shocked. You know, I was kind of shocked right there. No crit on Escanor. We did only 1 million. And I probably could have reset to maybe get a crit right there. But yeah, it wasn't even worth retrying for. We do lower the gauge again, guys, but it's not going to be a 25% strip. It was only, I think, like a 17% or something like that, or like 12%. So yeah, nothing crazy right there on the gauge lower. And then yeah, Nidhoggr goes for the single target, and he already puts down the ignites as well from the ult. So the ignites is always super scary. You always have to have a cleanse with Liz. So right there, I made sure to have my cleanse with Liz ready. And so yeah, we go for the cancel stance with Yuri. We go for the ultimate with Roxy. I go for the ultimate with Liz and then the cleanse. Yeah, that was the idea. Because then I was like, okay, I can get the ultimate back. And yeah, I mean, this is a pretty good hand for what we have right now. Because we do have a Roxy single target and we have the Yuri ult. So it wasn't too bad. I wasn't like too worried. And look at that. I mean, Roxy's doing guaranteed like the full health bar of the guy, you know. That's really good damage right there. And then, yeah, we do the cleanse. We get the ultimate with Liz. So now he's at 20%, guys. We got him very, very low now. But the problem is, right, we have to get a full heal. We have to also lower his gauge. And getting him less than 30 is going to be kind of tough from this point in the game. Right, from this point in the actual fight, guys, it's going to be pretty difficult. Because we just don't have cards. Like, I only have the Roxy single target. I did not top deck any other single targets right there. So I was like, dang, it's not going to be too great. And yeah, so right here I was like, okay, let's do I think I went for Roxy single target in this part, because I was like, okay, we need enough damage, because like I wasn't just gonna rely on Yuri. Yeah, see, I wasn't gonna rely on just Yuri's ultimate, because even though it does do cleave, like 500k is a lot of damage, but it's not like a Roxy single target. Roxy single target with the crits is gonna deal more than, you know, the 500k. So we had to just rip Roxy cards. Like, look at that, 620, almost 700k. So that's pretty much like a free ultimate right there, damage wise. You know, like Roxy single target. But yeah, the game just wasn't giving us the cards, guys. So that was the main issue we were having here. And yeah, I mean, you guys can see he's also at 2% on the gauge. So I actually can't go for the kill this turn. I have to wait till next turn. That means I actually have to tank this turn as well. And yeah, I mean, that's obviously like a little scary too. But luckily, he was doing the stance card after the ultimate. So he wasn't going to just follow up for more damage. But the only thing with this was that this run really banked on the fact that I had to top deck a Yuri stance removal. If I did not get a Yuri stance removal on this turn, I would have lost. So you guys already know what I got. I got a Yuri stance removal. The luck did come in clutch. So right here, I was like, okay, we just gotta kind of risk it for the biscuit here. Waste all my, you know, good damaging, you know, I wasted my ultimate Escanor ult, the Liz ult, and then the heal, just to make sure I get the ultimate back. And then the Yuri AoE, that might have been a misplay right there, just because I would have got an extra card in my hand that it would have been filled with Yuri Ultimate, which could have been for a Yuri single target anyway, so that could have been a misplay right there. But we do top deck the card anyway, guys. You know, WRNG, you love to see it. You know, we did get the cancel stance top deck, so really good stuff right there. And because of that top deck, we actually did win this fight. If we did not get that top deck right there, I don't think I would have won this run of Nidhoggr. But again, guys, I mean, most of this is going to come down to a lot of, you know, good RNG on your part, right? So yeah. Right here, I go for the ultimate, I go for the cleanse with Liz, I go for the stats removal, and I'm like, okay, how do we want to go about this? I was like, Yuri might not deal enough damage, right? I was like, would Yuri deal enough to even do 10%? I was kind of hesitant, but I think I do go with the Yuri here, and then I save Roxy for next turn, yeah. So I was a little hesitant because I was like, I don't know if Yuri's gonna, you know, do enough damage. But then here you guys go. I mean, you know, we definitely did beat this run, so you guys will see here. But Yuri actually does more than 10%, which I'm glad, because you know, it's kind of hard when he gets that all stats up, right? It is kind of hard. But she does 485k right there. That's enough to do 20% of his HP, which is really good. And then, yeah, we're kind of on the end game right here, guys, in terms of the run. So now it's all about just me getting, you know, top decks with ultimates, right? I was like, okay, at this point in the fight, I just have to ult with Roxy, ult with Esnor, and then it's GG, right? Like, if I can get that going, then I've won the fight. But unless I, you know, get kind of messed up here. But then I was like, okay, right here I could do the ult with Liz again. We could do the cleanse, and I could do ult with Roxy, and actually get ultimate Esnor result as well. So I actually do that. I actually do Roxy ultimate too, if I'm not mistaken. And then, yeah. I think I reset though, and I do Roxy ult first. Yeah. So I reset and do Roxy ult first, because, you know, I might as well gain extra gauge just in case I need it, right? I was kind of banking on the fact that, you know, maybe I need it. And then, yeah, no, I go for Roxy AoE here because I was like, okay, Asner is going to get the gauge fill, so he doesn't actually need it. So, yeah, really good right there, guys. We do get the ultimate out for Roxy, 1.5 million crit. And yeah, I mean, really good damage right there, man. But yeah, I mean, this turn I was like, okay, I think I won the fight. You know, from this point on, I was like, yeah, I probably won, because I'm top decking ultimate Esnor ult. And depending on my cards as well, I could have probably lost. Like, if I didn't get like any attack cards there, you know, it could have been a loss. But there we go, guys. That is the run right there, man. Because right there, we just do the Liz ult, and then the ultimate Esnor ult. And yeah, it's GG, man. So there is floor 3 Nidhoggr cleared with Yuri Zahard. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Definitely a very hard, difficult run to do. But if you have the characters and want to give it a try, go for it, man. I mean, if you're someone that's clearing Nidhoggr every single week anyway, and you're just like, oh, let me like mess around with another team, like, this is pretty fun. You know, I actually got to see Ultimate Esnor cook, man. And there we go, guys. So we actually did beat it. And yeah, I mean, it was pretty good. It did take me an hour, though. It did take me an hour to beat it, but we were able to do it, guys. So that's floor 3 Nidhoggr, and you guys saw it all here. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below, man. I hope you guys did enjoy the video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe as always. If you guys want to see more videos like this, definitely let me know in the comment section below. And I'm going to see you guys in the next video, man. Peace out, and have a great rest of your day, guys. See you later, man.